Hello everyone. So the government has to acquire lands for multiple purpose, and that acquisition is from the private owners, right? So private property are acquired for purpose like making railways or making highway, right? Or making these airports. So for multiple purposes, the government acquire lands. But how that land will be acquired? What are the procedures which has to be followed? Whether fair compensation will be given or not? Regarding all these things, the Supreme Court has recently given a judgment. So we will be looking into that issue and looking into that judgment. But first we will have to understand the very basic, right? So this was in the news, and in this the Supreme Court has said that the state cannot acquire property without proper procedure. The acquisition of the private property not valid if proper procedures not followed. So this has been the Supreme Court judgment. But why this judgment came, that we will be looking. Before going to that, let's understand the constitutional provisions, right? So what are the Constitution says? So as you know that the right to property was earlier a fundamental right under Article 19 1F and Article 31 of the Constitution of India. But later on, through the 44th Constitutional Amendment Act, the right to property was made a constitutional right, means it has been eliminated from the fundamental right. And this Article 19 1F and Article 31 has been abolished from the Constitution of India, and instead of that a new article was introduced, that was Article 300A of the Constitution of India. This Article 300A has same provisions as there was in Article 31 of the Constitution of India. So it says that person not to be deprived of property save by authority of law, means no person shall be deprived of his property save by authority of law, means no person shall be deprived of his property, no person's property will be snatched or taken away or acquired except those who has the authority to do this. There will be law regarding this, and as per this law, the concerned authority, they will have the power to take this property from this private owner, right? So land can be acquired, the private property can be acquired, but for that law has to be there, and within that law whichever authority will be given the power, so that only that authority will be acquiring that property. So that is there. Another article is there, that is Article 39B and Article 39C of the Constitution of India. As you know that this is under the directive principle of state policy. So this is the directives to the state governments or state, even the central governments also. Both central government and the state government has to follow these kinds of directives, right? Though these are not mandatory, but still it has to be followed. Certain principles of the policy to be followed by the state, that is the state shall be in particular direct its policy towards securing what? 39B, that the ownership and the control of the material resources of the community are so distributed as the best serves the common good. So the ownership and the control of the material resources has to be distributed, right? How it has to be distributed? So that it goes best in best manner to the common goods, right? Plus the operation of the economic system does not result in concentration of the wealth and the means of production of the common detriment. So there should not be concentration of wealth, right? That rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer. So that should not happen. Recently this one case was there in the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court in that case has considered this material resource as both public property plus private property, right? Means the ownership and the control of the material resource means both public property as well as the private property of the community are to be distributed so that it's serving the common good. It is for the welfareistic approach, right? So does this mean that the government will be acquiring the private property and they will be distributing to the poor person, that the government will be acting as a Robin Hood. So that will not be occurring, right? If any property has to be acquired, then that has to be acquired for the public purpose and proper procedure has to be followed. And this is what the Supreme Court had said regarding this. Then there is a doctrine, that is doctrine of eminent domain. What does this doctrine says? The doctrine says that, and what this doctrine is, this doctrine is a legal doctrine, and that simply means that the government has the authority and government has the power that they can acquire the private property, but these kinds of private property will be acquired for what? For public purpose only. But while acquiring this private property, what should be followed? Proper procedure should be followed, as well as the landowner should be given fair and proportionate compensation. It's not that without giving compensation the private property can be acquired. From where this doctrine is coming? From Article 31A of the Constitution of India. Because under Article 31A of the Constitution of India, the state can acquire several kinds of properties as per the Constitution of India, right? Plus, there has been a act since 2013. So there is one act, that is Right to Fair Compensation and the Transparency in Law, Land Acquisition, Rehabilitation and Resettlement Act 2013. So according to this act, proper compensation has to be paid to the private landowners before taking back, because before acquiring their land, right? So that has to be there. So this doctrine says that, doctrine of eminent domain says that the state, whether central government or the state government, both government has the power to acquire the private property, right? So that is there. Now, recently the Supreme Court was looking at this case, and the Supreme Court had said that the right to property is a constitutional right, because it is coming under the Article 300A of the Constitution of India, right? Plus, it is also said that the right to property is a human right, because it is to lead a good life, right? One should have property, one should have housing facility, one should have this land facility, land and availability for agriculture and other things. So right to property, this is also a human right, isn't it? For the human existence also property is needed. So Supreme Court has identified this, that the right to property is both constitutional as well as the human right. And therefore, if there has to be acquisition, right, if there has to be acquisition of the land, because government will lead land, if some infrastructure development has to be there, for example, bullet trains has to be made, right, for example, new airports has to be made. So for that, land acquisition is required, and for that the land has to be acquired by the this government. But if the compulsory acquisition will be there, but without following the proper procedure, that will be said as the unconstitutional in nature, that cannot be protected through Article 31A of the Constitution of India, right? So it has to be there for with the proper procedure. Hence, the Supreme Court of India has protected the right to property from the arbitrary state taking over the public for the public purposes, right? What does this mean? This means that the Supreme Court has protected the right to property of the private owner, right? So that is there. But Supreme Court has said that there has to be 7 procedures which has to be followed, and if only if this 7 procedure has been followed, then only it will be considered that the proper land acquisition has happened, and that will be constitutional in nature. So what is the procedure? So the first thing is, there has to be right to notice. Whatever project is being sanctioned and whatever the purpose of the land acquisition is there, and whatever the purpose of those property acquisition is there, so that purpose has to be communicated, has to be informed to the private owner whose land is there, whose property is that, right? So government will inform the person about the intended acquisition. Once this information has been passed on, then there will be right to be heard. Many a times what happens that the land owner, they do not want to sell their land, right? So the right to be heard is to be there. The state must listen to the objections from the property owner. If the property owner has any kind of objections regarding that property selling, so that objections can be put on by the government, and government will have to listen that objections. So right to be heard will be there. Another thing is right to a reasoned decision. Whatever the decision will be taken by the government, so that should be with proper logical reasoning, right? That should be with proper explanation that why that property acquisition is compulsory and why the government really will have to acquire that land, right? So that has to be there. The state must explain its decision regarding the acquisition. Then the fourth step is the demonstration of the public purpose. Means clearly the state will say that for what reason the property has been acquired, and it should be only for the public purpose. It's not for the private purpose. It will not be that the land will be acquired from the owners, private owners, and it will be sold to the another big corporate houses. So that is not possible. So it will be given for the public purpose only, right? Another procedure which has to be followed is right to fair compensation. So whenever any kinds of land or any kind of property is acquired by the state, then proper compensation has to be paid by the government, right? Many a times it is according to this 2013 Act, the fair compensation will be 4 times of the market value of that land. So that government will have to give to the owner of the land. So private owner is entitled to the reasonable compensation. It's not that anything, even a small amount will be given to them. Their compensation should be reasonable in nature. It should be as per the market value, right? And many times the land acquired is 2 times or the 4 times of the market value, right? Plus efficient process should be followed. What does this mean? The acquisition process should be conducted efficiently and within set time limits. Within the time limits, all the acquisition process should be initiated as well as the completed, right? So this procedure also has to be followed. And the last procedure is the conclusion of the proceedings. So unless and until the physical possession of the land or the property is taken by the government, it will not be considered as the acquisition. Therefore, the acquisition isn't complete without the actual physical possession of the property being taken. And whenever these all 7 procedures will be followed, and that too in proper manner, then only the land acquisition or the private properties acquisition will be considered as the constitutional in nature. If any of these procedures are not followed, if fair compensation is not being provided, if timely disposal of the cases is not being done, then it will be said that it has been unconstitutional acquisition of the land or the property. So that is there. So what is the conclusion? We have understood the issue and we have understood what the Supreme Court has to say regarding this. So conclusion is the right to property is still there, which has been guaranteed by the Article 300A of the Constitution of India to the landowners or to the private owners, because India, we are following mixed economy, right? And in the mixed economy, there is state ownership as well as the private ownership. So state simply cannot snatch away the property of the private, right? So right to property is still there, plus it is still the state right that they can acquire the property, because time to time state will have to take decisions regarding several infrastructure projects, and for that the state will require the land as well as the property. So for that purpose, the state will be acquiring the property also. But the thing is, there will be fair compensation will be provided to the owner of the land or owner of that property if it at all it has to be acquired, right? So this was all. I hope you have understood this issue as well as the Supreme Court judgments. So we will be continuing this series further. Keep learning. Thank you very much.